Hey, this is Bart, and I've never done this before. This is a song that I wrote. And I wrote this song because there's so many love songs in the world, but anymore it seems like at least all of my favorites, or all of the ones that I've written or tried to write, they're always it's always flawed love. It's always, there's some reason that it's not gonna work. I love you, but... And so, so I wrote a song that isn't flawed. It's about perfect love. It's about that perfect, cheesy, ridiculous love that basically doesn't ever really happen. But I like to think that it still does sometimes. So I wrote a stupid song about it. And it's really easy too. It's in D. If that doesn't prove my point, I don't know what does. There's 3 chords and it's in D. Maybe 4. And if I traveled a million billion miles, I'd still wanna be with you. And if I lived for a million billion years, I'd still wanna be with you. I love you more than everything else I've ever loved, and I love you more today. And if I had to choose between forever and a day with you, I'd sure be a hell of a day. And if I traveled a million billion miles, I'd still wanna be with you. And if I lived for a million billion years, I'd still wanna be with you. If I could write a song, it would be about how much I love you, but I'd run the risk that it wouldn't sound right. And if I wrote 1,000 songs, maybe one of them would tell you that I love you more than you will ever know. And if I traveled a million billion miles, I'd still wanna be with you. And if I lived for a million billion years, I'd still wanna be with you. And a million billion years and a million billion miles, I still don't know what I'd do without you. And a million billion planets and a million billion universes, I'd still love you. And if I traveled a million billion miles, I'd still want to be with you. And if I lived for a million billion years, I'd still want to be with you. And if I traveled a million billion miles, I still want to be with you. And if I lived for a million billion years, I still want to be with you. And if I traveled a million billion miles, I'd still want to be with you. And if I lived for a million billion years, I'd still